Free seat up at the front. Everyone wants to wait for a seat. Right at the front here, and on the back waiting.
No.
These seats taken. Okay. So, I'd like to welcome our next speaker of the evening, Dave O'Malley. So, ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker descends from a notorious clan of pirates and mercenaries. Don't laugh. He's a merchant salesman, musician, and amateur historian who travels the world in pursuit of his obsessions. His speech is titled The Genie. Please welcome to the stage, Dave O'Malley!
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Genie. And I'm seeking a brave accomplice, in fact 2 brave accomplices, a male and a female, to join me on a time travel adventure. Any takers? Raise your hands, please.
Come on,
excellent, please. Come on down. Thank you. You're both very brave.
You can go first.
So, right. What I'm going to do today, we need to do a DNA test, because my DeLorean, which is not on me today, is not here. So, the vehicle today is one of these tubes. What I need you to do, sir, what is your name, please?
MJ.
MJ. MJ is going to donate some saliva into that tube, okay? And whilst you're doing that, I'm going to ask you, what, no. What I would like you to do, if you want some privacy, you may turn around. What I would like to ask you, sorry, what is your name again? Mindy. What do you think we're doing this for? Is it A, a crime investigation, B, genome sequencing, spelt wrong, is it C, the Jeremy Kyle show, guess the father, or is it D, ancestry?
D.
Correct, well done, round of applause for Mindy. Thank you very much. MJ, how did you get on?
I think, is that enough?
Well, we'll see. To be honest, this isn't a real DNA test, so you're welcome to take that back as a souvenir. There you go. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Round of applause. Thank you. So, DNA. Where can it take me? So, I took a DNA test similar to that only a few months ago. It was called an autosomal test, and it can span back, it can match you with DNA matches anywhere across the world, going back 4 generations. And these are people who've taken the same test and shared their results. Why? Why would you pay £100 to put your spit in a little tube and send it to a lab? Well, in my case, I was seeking to learn more about my grandfather. This fellow here was a farmer, and when he was the tender age of 13, he travelled all the way from Kilgiva, which is in the west coast of Ireland, all the way to Chorley, which is where I'm from, in Lancashire. Now, I've never met him, and I've done some research around the history of his family to find and connect with my ancestors, and maybe discover if I am related to a pirate of the west coast, as Josh referred to. Now, his childhood was remarkably tough. In doing my research, without the DNA, I've discovered that he was up in small claims court 5 times before he was the age of 10 for petty crimes such as stealing grass from a shopkeeper's meadow. In reality, Ireland was under a police state in those days. This was in the early, it was about 1912, and then later on, towards the end, he escaped what would become the Civil War. And here is an image of one of the travesties of that conflict, which happened in fighting between the IRA and the Provisional IRA, was the Records Office of Ireland, going back with all the records to the 13th century, were destroyed in one huge explosion. This was a disaster for people like myself tracing family history. So it's made it very difficult. Hence, why DNA can solve some of these mysteries. I have got 266 DNA matches worldwide. Isn't that amazing? So this is just one of them. And this platform, which is ancestry.co.uk, that can put you in contact with these people. And through this, it tells you where it predicts how far back you need to go to find the common ancestor. And in my case, it predicted 4th to 6th cousins, and it was very high in confidence. Now they live over in Clinton, Massachusetts. I'm over here looking at Ireland, thinking, right. So it turns out my great-grandmother, my granddad's mother, was a lady called Anne Grady. And as a girl similar to him, she travelled all the way to Clinton, Massachusetts to work in a watermill. She lived in the States, and she wasn't alone. There was a whole gang of Gradys and O'Malleys that went there together. I've discovered this through the discovery of this document, which wasn't on my ancestry tree, it was on the other person's tree. And this document, it proves, this proves an O'Malley and one of her ancestors, which was the Keynes, this is their document which gives them citizenship of the United States, and they needed to be there for 10 years or more. So strangely, after living in the States for 10 years, she travelled all the way back to Ireland, which was a very strange thing to do in those days. We're talking 1899, I think she did this. And Ireland was still very poor. She'd fled the poverty. She'd gone back to the poverty. Turns out she had an arranged marriage to my great-grandfather. So I was amazed by all this. And this is just one of the unique discoveries I've made on my journey with DNA and family history. And it's taken me on many journeys. I've been traveling, and I've really got a lot out of it. And if there's one thing I've learned is there's a few things. There's the myth and the sort of romanticized version of Ireland isn't necessarily something to go by. You've got a lot of poverty and suffering, and I saw a lot of parallels with the current situation we have with immigration today, and the cause and the plight of the people that have to make these dramatic, brave journeys to seek a better life and a better existence for the future of their generations. And it's made me very humble to think of the sacrifices made by my great-grandmother and my grandfather for me to be living where I am today. So I've set up a YouTube channel, and I will be posting more updates on the discoveries of my journey. And I would encourage you to look at your own ancestry, make some discoveries. These are great resources here. Find My Past, Ancestry, Roots Island if you're Irish. There's some great records there, which if you get in touch with me, if you want any help, I'd like to help. Thank you very much.
Another round of applause for Dave. Two more speakers and we can go on a break. Anybody need a seat?